Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. We have a statement in question that came in from George, and he says, "Hi Serge, I am George Snyder, the 80-year-old that just completed your very informative and enjoyable one-day golf class at Summerfield, Florida. Although my wife fussed at me for spending the money, it was worth every penny to receive 3 hours of one-on-one instruction from pros like yourself and Dave Seaman, and I have the exciting experience of playing with PGA professionals on the course. Then add the bonus of golf conversation over lunch, and I had a great day of golf. However, this is not intended to be a testimonial, but since it isn't, I still thank you for saying how you feel about it, George." He says, "However, I learned from Dave that the shoulder turn does not occur until after impacting the ball. I thought it would be helpful if you explained when the shoulder turn should occur in a 3/4 vertical swing. Regards, George. P.S. I have a handicap of 27, and last Thursday, after your lesson, I shot a front nine of 41, by far the best score of my life." Congratulations, George. That's a great score, and I mean, get that just a little bit lowered, 2 of those in one day, and you'd be shooting your age, which is was one heck of an accomplishment. But congratulations on your lowest score ever. And so I guess you were definitely paying attention and working on the things we discussed in that one-day golf school. Just as FYI, Dave did some more in another town in Bradenton, Florida, recently, and we will be actually going to Ohio, somewhere around Muirfield Village, to be doing one there in another month or so. But you can check on the website on those one-day golf schools, and many more of our instructors will probably starting to do that same format of half-a-day instruction and 9 holes on the golf course. And because you not only get the swing instruction, but then you get some playing instruction, how to maneuver your way around the golf course. But George asked a good question. The key to the golf swing is, we know that the peak performance golf swing is a 3/4 limited turn swing. That means we turn only to the toe line and swing up the tree. Now, probably one of the best ways to use and demonstrate that is I have Ralph, our guy who's the gentleman who sells the swing tech on our website. He created me a mobile stand here that I can use in the backyard, and as you can see, it has a connecting bar all the way to the grounded base here, and I have a golf club here. Well, the 3/4 limited turn swing means that we turn only to the toe line in the backswing, the forward arm over the toe line in the backswing, which is demonstrated by this. When I stand here, it's just over the toe line. Let me get more straight for you. Straight up here, and the club gets vertical. All right? So your forward arm is over the toe line. And then from there, we swing back down. It squares up at impact. And then what do we get from here? I swing over with the trailing arm. In my case, the back arm, the right arm, is over the toe line. And when it comes over the toe line, it swings all the way up the top. So my upper arm stays over the toe line, and I recoil and relax, aiming at the target. Okay? So now, the concept of the plane trainer is this bar does not bend or break. It's attached to a post here. There's an attachment that you can put it on the wall. There's one that you can wrap it around a tree. There's one now that Ralph's created that you can stick it in the door. So all you need to take is that the smaller attachment with this, and you can even take it on the road with you in your suitcase. But the key is most people want to turn too much or suck the club inside, and the only way that's going to happen is if I basically try to pull it off the wall or pull this stand down. So it's a limited turn. Swing to the toe line and up, back to impact, and straight up over the shoulders, recoil and relax. Okay, so the swing tech is a great training aid for doing that, and because there's no way you can get deep. All right, so since we can't take that with us on a golf course and hit a golf ball, we need to learn it and know where our toe line is, and work on you turn only to the toe line. So if I stand here and I'm going to make a 90-degree shoulder turn, as you can see, the club is at or past my ball, and look where my left arm is now. It's way inside. I'll do it from this view. There's about 90 degrees. You see where my hands are now way behind my toe line? That would be in the sacred burial ground. So even if I get behind my toe line and I got the club relatively vertical, I'd still be deep, and that means I have to come out of the toe line I have to come back out of the sacred burial ground, because golf's like life. What goes around comes around. You have to get back to the aiming line to hit that ball on, square and solid. And so that's why the limited turn is important. The key to the limited turn is the wide knees outward pressure. We hold the knee a little bit, so because the movement of the knee that many of you were taught to do is for one reason and one reason only. Kick your knee in so you can increase your hip turn, which increases your shoulder turn, so you can take a bigger turn and a longer swing. But that gets you in a sacred burial ground. So we keep the knees wide, we maintain the outward pressure, we resist the front knee moving, and that gets us to where we should be able to make and turn absolutely almost no farther than your toe line, which is what you want for this peak performance swing, and you get the club vertical. And from there, once you get into the toe line and up, it's just swing to the toe line on that side with your trailing arm over the toe line, coming straight up to the finish. And when you do that, you have the peak performance swing. So where does the shoulder turn start? Well, there is a little turn going back, so as I come up and I come back down, I'm turning. There is a little bit of a turn when I do the bump, but the turn only turns to where the shoulders are square and parallel of the aiming line at impact. The predominance of all golf instruction today has you immediately turn your hips and your shoulders, and they have the shoulders wide open at impact. And in many cases, if you're tending to hit the ball thin or hit a lot of balls to the right, you might want to check that. You might have turned your shoulders too much, because if your club is square and your shoulders are turned and you're coming into the ball, the club face and your shoulders are open, you're going to hit the ball too soon and the club face will be open. So we only turn, and the shoulders should be relatively square. The hips will be slightly open, the knees will have bumped and then it started to turn, but the shoulders have to relatively be square for the palms to be square, and therefore with a perfectly 3P grip, palms perpendicular to ground so that the club face is perpendicular to ground, and to be square to the aiming line at that point at impact would have to be, the shoulders have to be square. So there's a little bit of turn when we start down, but because the bump goes first and the shoulders are not turning quite yet, and the bump when the hands drop, from there there's just a slight turn and the shoulders must be square at impact. Once I've hit the ball, then the turn continues until what? I'm square at impact, and then the turn continues till as I swing up, the shoulders get horizontal to the ground and you're square to the target with your torso, and that's when they actually turn through. So the shoulders must be square at impact for the triangle to be square, the club face to be square at impact, so you have that on, square and solid finish, which will help you hit the ball more solid, straight, and longer. All right? Well, that's an explanation of where the shoulders have to be at impact to hit the ball solid and straight and shoot those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you again soon.